Me jeje, love me tender. Love me easily, love me tenderly. Do we not all need some TLC? Most times and every day. We just want to be taken care of and pampered, don't we? It's why we do the most on the other side of your radio. Try to take good care of you, high impact citizens, so that, hey, you know that each and every day when you tune into 102.1 FM, you are safely, snugly fitted in our arms, virtually, of course. We try to give you warm hugs through your speakers, making sure you have a fantastic day, a productive day, a beautiful day altogether. It's the 18th day in the month of September 2024. It's about, 18 minutes down the flip side of tweet. Ladies, and more ladies. Welcome to this hashtag Walkover Wednesday edition of What Women Say. Women always have a lot to say, and we are thankful for this platform where we can speak our minds with no holds barred. Hi, Big T.
Hey. No.
Oh my gosh. When I was saying Tolu is quiet, Tolu was giving me bombastic side eye. Tolu is one of the most quiet people I know. Cool as a cucumber. In the face of any situation, she's so cool. I'm the hothead.
Oh, girl.
And which is why we're the perfect combo. So, yes, everybody, welcome to What Women Say. And who are we to begin the show without our mantra? Are you ready?
Waiting.
Clear your throat. Sweet, gentle. Big T was like,
Let's talk about
not
it.
only should we be paying attention to, we should be talking about it.
Yes.
It is pretty important. Right, so PCOS Awareness Month aims to help improve the lives of those affected by PCOS. It's a risk factor, for type 2 diabetes, infertility, endometrial cancer, cardiovascular disease. All those things are sounding really big.
And very, very
very
strong.
scary,
Well,
strong.
everything will be broken down.
It will
be
be
a few hours, like you said.
so that we can better understand what it is we're dealing with here. So, while there is no known cure for PCOS, raising awareness encourages future research and better treatments. And we're so glad that we have some beautiful, gorgeous ladies up in the building who are here to share not only their experience but their expertise with us. So we can no longer be novices when it comes to something this important as women. All right? So we've got up in the building with us. Whew.
We have Nosa Arroyo. She's the project coordinator of YFAI. So she's part of an organization, and they deal with women. So many issues actually.
That women face.
Yes. We also have Sarah Folabiola Goke. She's the CEO of Tesla Foods and also a PCOS advocate.
Make some noise.
And lastly, so that our brain does not collapse with all the jargons that you'll be hearing, or technical
medical
definitions. We
Uh-huh.
have a doctor at the building so that they can break it down for us so that we can, understand. And we have by the person of Dr. Oluwapelumi Dairo. She's a medical practitioner and also a volunteer at YFAI.
Woo! Yeah! I told you. Ladies packing power. Hello, ladies. Welcome to High Impact Radio. Hi. Everybody's leaning back. We have to lean forward so we can hear your voices. Melms. I feel like y'all were so relaxed. Like you were here to watch a show instead of be part of it. Did we do too much? Welcome to High Impact Radio. It's great to have you here.
It's great to be here.
So, first off, when we have people visiting for the first time, we like to ask this question. Finding your way here, was it a straightforward thing, direct, or were there hiccups on finding this place? Was it just spot on? Was it spot on locating this place?
Thankfully for Google Maps, right?
It was a straightforward journey.
It was kind of straightforward, but there were like corners somewhere that we should have passed, but then we got here.
We got here! That's all I wanted to hear. We got here. All right, ladies. Welcome once again. We're so glad to have you. And we're just going to go straight into the crux of the matter because when it comes to radio, time is not our friend. It's always flying first class. So we need to get into it real quick. And we're going to ask our doctor to give us the perfect biological definition of this really important thing, PCOS. I remember we were talking about it, and one of the guys said POS, and I scolded him so much. I was so upset. Like, how dare you? I was like, how dare you? So for him and the people like him, what is PCOS and how is it diagnosed?
Okay, thank you for having me.
You're welcome.
So PCOS, right? Okay, it's a medical condition, again, oncological condition. Okay, also has the endocrine parts, all right? So it's a syndrome, so it has a constellation of signs and symptoms put together. So it is when there is actually an abnormality with the hormones in a woman's body, because PCOS affects women actually. So we talk about the hypopituitary thalamus axis, right? Okay, that is responsible for the female hormones. So when there is actually an imbalance and a discrepancy with how these hormones are being produced, they can manifest as various signs and symptoms that actually even vary from person to person. Okay, so usually we make a diagnosis of PCOS based on 3 major criteria, right? So like the name says, polycystic ovarian syndrome simply means the ovaries, right, having other follicles around it, about 20 of them or more, right? And then, so that we see that on an ultrasound, okay? That's one of the ways that we can tell
Diagnose
that
it.
this is this. But you also need that with another part of investigation to be able to diagnose this, and that's the biochemical. So we check the hormones also. We call the luteinizing hormones and also the follicle stimulating hormone. So here we have the luteinizing hormone almost times 2 of what the follicle stimulating hormone should be. So that is another criteria for diagnosis. Then we also have the signs and symptoms that manifest in various people, all from what we call the hyperandrogenism. So that is when the male hormone in the woman's body, right, is higher, right, than it's supposed to be. So those 3 criteria, 2 out of the 3, we use it to make a diagnosis of PCOS.
But it's not just any hormonal imbalance that can be linked to PCOS. Some hormonal imbalances mean other things, right?
Yes.
And you have to do the proper test to figure out which is
exactly.
which. Okay. Thank you so much, Doc.
Yeah.
So we're now going to ask you about the very common symptoms that people tend to overlook. Like, it can't be me,
Who have hairs on their face, on their back, on their tummy, on their navel, all right, and just the male pattern distribution of hair in a female, right? So that's one. And then excessive weight gain, right? Some might just feel, I'm living a good life now.
Soft girl life, baby girl life.
Yeah.
So I'm gaining some weight.
So I'm getting some weight, I'm adding some weight. But it might also be a pointer to, something might be going on, right? And another thing is they might have some, what we call the acne on the face. So, yeah.
Oh my gosh, so it's not just a skincare problem.
Yes, sometimes it can indicate that there might be something more serious going on, like PCOS. So really, those are really the basics of it, although there are other sides and
because they
symptoms.
sound like minor symptoms. You don't
Yes,
even see
yeah.
them as symptoms. You just see them as normal things that happen.
And I hear about it.
gain
You
a
know,
bit
like
of weight.
wide.
Yeah, it's a wide scope. Okay.
Really wide.
Okay. Hi, Miss Sarah. Wow. Well, first of all, thank you for being here, and thank you for being such a strong advocate for PCOS, because these things, they need to be heard. No matter how, I think fear, makes some people want to shut it down. They don't want to hear la 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 la. It's not me. It can never be me. That kind of thing. But I like when people are talking about it. They're in your face about it. So because you need to know about these things. So I do have a question for you. I'd love to know.
That to ask them. So that's why I would say people would rather keep quiet about PCOS than even
talk
talking
about
about
it.
it. Yes. Then, for my experience, I had a whole lot, because I would say PCOS dealt with me in a big way from the period ceased finally for like a year, and I'm like, this is what I'm going through. And people say, you're so lucky.
How does it feel to be God's favorite?
And I'm like, wow.
Natural birth control.
And I'm like, what?
Wait, but is it possible for someone to still get pregnant in that situation? without the period, doc.
Yeah, the chances are actually quite low. Yeah.
But it's possible.
It's still very
Is that the one they
possible.
call? Is that the ectopic pregnancy?
No.
No, it's
That's
not.
it.
No, it's
Okay. All right.
It's not it. Okay, so then I had to go to the hospital because I'm someone that if anything change, I know. So they know me very well at hospital. I'm like a regular customer. Any small thing like this, boom. And the hospital is
Because you
even
took
very
your
close
health
to my house.
seriously. Yeah.
So I would just walk in freely like a neighbor. I'm back. Oh. So then we started the whole thing. Actually, I was first diagnosed in South Africa.
Okay.
Yes, because when I was there, some were telling me just lose weight. You just need to lose weight. It's fat. Someone even said it's fat that was blocking the uterus. So that
Yeah,
was like
misdiagnosis. That's one of the
Yeah.
challenges people
but luckily
face.
I met with a gynecologist over there, and then when we did series of tests from hormonal profiling to trying to check for androgen, progesterone, or how do you call it. So we found out that this was the situation. Then when I came back, I started, like, it's so funny that I just googled about it once. Then I went to my Instagram the next day, then I started seeing everyone PCOS.
Talking about
But
it.
what I noticed was that it was common about the whites. Not like it's of recent I
Yes.
started seeing people in Nigeria having pages for PCOS.
PCOS.
But back then, as 2019, 2020, it was majorly
No.
the white race. So I was like, is this just common with the white people or then,
Everybody.
so yes, then we found out that it's actually not me alone. I was not the only person. There are several women out there that are actually having this thing, but they don't know. Then
They
the
don't.
voices started changing. My voice became thicker. Then
Wow.
I started losing my hair. I used to have a very long hair and full up to the front, but now it started declining. Then what else?
That's different because she was talking about hair growth,
Yes.
and then you lost your hair. So it's
No,
like
what
different.
she meant is on
Facial
one
and body
facial,
hair.
body.
Male pattern
As the female, the only
distribution.
place we are supposed to have hair is
Yeah,
and the armpit, Abby.
And the,
But then
down
yes,
below.
down below. Then you started having hair on your body.
Right.
Yes. Then yeah, this changed.
Your
yeah.
voice changed?
It
I do
changed.
have a friend whose voice gets deeper with every child she has.
Wow.
Yes,
Yeah.
it does.
It's like 2 tones deeper than every time she has a baby, and it never goes back to normal. Is that, would you say it's a symptom of
We actually need to do further investigations
to find out?
to constellate the signs and symptoms together.
Whew, child, this is a lot. But we are learning. Ladies, if you're listening, you have something to say or to contribute questions to us, please feel free. All
So
right.
I
Call the
want to
number.
ask this, since it's among females, is there like a particular age it might happen? Is there like a starting age? How early actually can one see it? Teenagers, is that possible?
Well, as soon as you hit puberty, so you can start actually manifesting the signs and symptoms.
Oh
Anytime from
gosh,
then, actually.
I did see there was a what you call it now, a space on Twitter, aka X, where someone was saying she started at 12 manifesting those symptoms. I couldn't believe 12. It's not too young to have PCOS.
That's why the education, like I said it somewhere last week, that once you see the first period, the people around the girl child needs to start educating her about everything that relates to reproductive health generally. Once she sees that period, that's not when I tell people we need to go beyond this. Don't touch boys, or don't let boys touch your clothes.
There's more to sex
There is
education
more
than
to-
that.
Yes, so that is when they need to kickstart the education, because it's like menstrual flow is way beyond getting pregnant. So many things are attached to it, and any mistake can lead to a lifetime problem.
Yeah. Okay. So thank you so much for answering that. Ladies, 0700 1021 1021. That's the number to call if you have a question or something to share. 0700 1021 1021. So we'd like to know what lifestyle changes a person can make if they have PCOS. What can they do to improve on their lifestyle? No, sir.
Okay, so PCOS, when you notice you have symptoms of PCOS, the first thing they will always advise is your health or your eating lifestyle. So your diet, what you eat, because she spoke about cravings, that she started noticing she was
craving sweet things.
She was craving sweet things because another thing about PCOS is that when you add the weight, it's hard to lose the weight. So you are stuck with that weight, and your hormones, like they said, are not working as they should. So when you are trying to lose weight, it takes a longer process. So you really have to focus on your diet. Another thing is they mostly prescribe medications for people with PCOS to help with hormonal balancing, because it's a lot of, like she said, hormonal imbalance. So once there's an issue with your hormones, then you start seeing the outward manifestation of everything that is happening. So that's why people have acne. That's why people have beards. So sometimes we see strands of beards in our faces and all that.
Is it possible to just have that, like it's hereditary or something? Or where you're from without having PCOS?
So that's why she said, or that's why I'm going to reference to what she said earlier, that you have to do further investigation. Like you can't just say, I have PCOS because I have acne or because I have hair. So there are further things that needs to be investigated, and then it's now summed up together, and then they can now diagnose you and say, you have PCOS. So that's one of the things that you also have to check in as well. Also, you have to be conscious of your menstrual cycle. So people are generally careless about their menstrual cycle. That's why somebody will say, I had my period this month, I didn't have next month. I don't know when it's coming, I don't know when this is.
But I feel like the girlies this age, they have this tracking apps and everything. The girlies are taking it seriously, but for different reasons. For different reasons, but they haven't downloaded it on their man's phone. Sync it, synchronization. But okay, good stuff. So
yes, I think with the more people are getting more aware about these things, like she said before, it was a white man problem, and we didn't know, because everything was prayer for us. We are Africa, we're Nigerian. So when you are missing your period, you're having fertility issues, you are noticing there's hair on you say, she's an Igbo girl, or you say she's this, or you say she's a Yoruba girl, or so we attribute these things to culture, to religion. But now there are a lot of this awareness about it, and I remember there was one time I was seeing a tweet on X as well, and the person was like, this generation, everybody has either you see somebody that has PCOS, or you see somebody that has fibroid, or somebody that has endometritis, so everybody,
I did see something like, it's that it has always been there, but now people are just more vocal about it. It's not something that just happened overnight, because somebody was asking, is there something in the water? Why all of a sudden our younger generation are having, they believe that is old people's disease that we're not supposed to have. It's people that have maybe smelling menopause or heat menopause that should be having such things. But you see teenagers, young people having fibroids, and then you get terrified because how? Things are triggering it. So how about we talk about the causes?
So, like you mentioned earlier, I'm going to allow Doctor talk about it as well. But I'm just going to say that there's really no specific reason.
I was going to ask you, your doctor did not tell you that this that you did triggered it, or this is what caused it?
Okay, the thing is, some of these things we don't actually have the cause, but some things can trigger it. Lifestyle, poor nutrition, poor dieting, and low quality nutrition, and that is like PCOS changed everything about me, including my branch as a business owner. I had to change the focus, the mission, the vision, to channel it to that specific
dietary
segment.
Option for people with PCOS.
Yes. So poor dieting can trigger it, and a whole lot of us, maybe I would say because of the busy life, then finding it hard to balance our life and
work-life balance.
So people will just get something on the go just to fill their tummy. I need this, and before
they not tell you the particular ingredients that because we need to narrow
so that you avoid it.
consume quality nutrition.
Which
The
one?
doctor, look into my eyes. There's no ingredients to avoid. So don't put this thing in your food. You know, there was a time they were running with rumors, certain spices in different noodles. Don't eat this. Don't eat. And most of these ones always get towards us. Like the man them are eating what they like, and I'm always like, this is not fair.
Even what they
You know.
the mandem, what they eat
Eh.
actually have effects at the long run.
Exactly.
They will
But
feel
they
it.
don't just
Body go
know,
tell them.
because they are enjoying it because of the society they find
So
themselves.
say, after all, I'm not gonna be the one to house a kid.
Some will tell you, "Oh, I've once impregnated someone before, so there's no possible. It's not possible."
Then
that
later on, they
I
start
can-"
shooting blanks.
And that's another
Anyway,
You're
it's
right.
what you eat. So generally, what you eat, what
You're
you
what
drink,
you eat.
Yeah.
you are. You're what
Even
you
your
eat.
sleeping,
Yeah.
yes,
Yeah,
your
yeah.
sleeping else as well.
I'm triggered, please. So if you eat double sausage shawarma, God help us. So ladies, if you are listening, we know that this topic is scary for a lot of people, very daunting. We're trying to make it as lighthearted as possible. So not only do you learn along the way, you understand that it's not a death sentence, so to speak. Because look now, we have, an advocate. I like to see her as a survivor up in the building. We have a doctor, we have people talking about it so that you understand that, listen, it's not the end of the world. And don't be scared to go for that checkup. If you've been postponing it, take this as your cue to go for that checkup.
Right.
Find out what exactly is wrong, all right? And do the needful so things don't get worse. So let's talk about the emotional aspect of it, though.
Right.
Yeah, that can be really overwhelming.
So, how were you able to cope emotionally? And when you found out, when you now realized that this
Was there
and this and
denial at
this
some point?
was going to be happening, and you have to be facing it every single day of your life? How did you deal? Did you have to tell someone, stuff like
Therapy.
I just spoke with my family. I told my husband, my mom, my mother-in-law. At first, my mom, she started with the, "Oh God, I'm going to call this." She started calling her pastor, started praying. And I'm like, "Madam, calm down, I think. Calm down." But luckily for me, my mother-in-law was a matron, so she's a
Okay.
retired nurse.
See, she
So
understands.
She too, not like she understands. This thing is like, even some of them in the medical field, they are just getting people, like getting patients who actually have this thing. Some of them are just meeting people like that. So some will be like, "Okay, what's that?" Then they will have to now call their colleagues or work on it to get. So it's not something that is so.
So the
common,
older
like
generation
the
did not
the-
have it. It's our
They did
generation.
have it.
That's
It's
it.
not as rampant as we.
No, they actually did have it as rampant as we do have it, but then
Yes.
because
How did
it
they
is,
tackle it?
it's not. It's just like when we speak about other things that are affecting us in this generation. It's not because it didn't affect them in that generation. Number
Maybe
one
they
is
didn't know.
awareness, exactly, and ignorance, and the fact that people were not ready to accept it. So people have this issue. So we have people who have dealt with fertility issues because of PCOS, but because they don't know that this is the reason for their delay or their fertility issues, they until they go for an investigation and then they realize that, this was actually the issue. And that's why awareness is very important, because if you are able to start managing it at an early
diagnosis
age,
and treatment
so
is
it
important.
prevents a lot
Okay.
of things.
What resources would you recommend for women newly diagnosed with PCOS?
I mean, you run a foundation. How do you deal with people who come in and they say they have this, or maybe they do not know, and then you realize, okay, this is what they have? How do you help them?
Right. So what we majorly do is we first of all spread the awareness, and then when people come in and they say, "Oh, this is what they have," number one is we refer them to doctors. So we are an initiative of a larger body that deals with people who are already married and have fertility issues. So we are linked with gynecologists, fertility doctors. So we refer them to these doctors. Go get checked, because we don't run on rumors. We need
We need evidence,
you need
facts.
evidence, right? So you can't just come out and say I have PCOS and then you actually don't have, right? So you have to understand how to manage it. So then there are prescriptions, medications, obviously, and then you keep informing them, because some people are very careless, even though they know they have this thing. Some people can be very careless with, how they live, so you have to make sure that, this is how you need to live from now. You have to keep going, you have to keep exercising, you have to watch your diet, so it's just like when you say granite causes pimples. It's not really the granite that causes pimples, right? So you just have to know that this is something. It's not granite. So
why is it that when we eat it pops out the next day, or in 30 minutes a fresh one is out there?
Granules is one thing I do
prescribe.
Tell people,
yes,
to not like.
Oh.
You need to be heavy on it. You need to. So you need
cashew
to
nuts, granules,
any nuts.
So I tell people, if you cannot afford cashew nuts, go for granules. If you like that, so I said it's changed everything about me. Even the people in my community, I tell them, to buy this thing is too expensive, madam. How much is granules? Go to the open market, source for certain foods yourself that you can mix. Then vegetables, buy fruits, the kind of fruits that is actually, because with PCOS you cannot just consume any kinds of fruit as well.
Oh.
You can't just jump on any kinds of fruit. So it's like it changes everything. Although it's not I don't call it disease, it's not even a disease. It's just a symptom. So it's something that helps you to live a more healthy lifestyle. That's it. Because you don't have to jump on what every other person is eating. Even on your cheat day. For those that do what's it called, fit farm.
Yeah,
They'll say,
so
we
fit
have a
farm, cheat day, let's
even
eat
your cheat
anyhow.
day self, you need to be moderate with it.
So there's no general treatment, like your treatment plan cannot work for another woman who has
Nope.
PCOS.
No.
It's a different treatment plan for different
people.
depending on the symptoms they
Yeah,
manifest.
and
Yes.
depending on what they are planning to achieve. So for some, you want to achieve a regular period. Some you want to achieve fertility.
Oh.
So it depends on the situation of things at that time and what the patient wants to achieve.
So are you hearing, ladies? You cannot just go and copy what you're.
you
Okay,
can't.
you have it, so you found out, and you don't want to go to the hospital.
So can
Then
I
you
just
go and copy
add?
it.
Can I add that we had an interview, or we had a live session with somebody that had actually lived through PCOS. She's now a mother, and she was giving her experience, and she was saying that her medications were not working for her. She was seeing a doctor, and her doctor gave her medication to somebody else, and the person got pregnant, and she that was using the medications, didn't work for
It
her.
happened to me too.
Right,
So they
so
had to change to something
So I had
else.
to change to something else. In fact, I was really reacting to it. My uterus was becoming bigger. So
Negative
it was-
reactions to your
And they gave it
medication.
to someone else, and she was, in fact, she came with twins.
My goodness.
Funny enough, when I was going to not get pregnant to the child I have now, I was not even doing anything. Like I was, I've accepted
Maybe
my fate.
your body doesn't ready to relax. Ease
So
the
it just,
tension.
I just started like that. Then when I was pregnant, I went to the hospital. Okay, it was it threatened miscarriage. Then I went back to my neighbors. I called them my neighbors, the hospital. And I was like, neighbors, I'm here. They know me from the reception. I'll just say, neighbors, I'm here. Oh. I'm seeing blood. Oh. It seems custom. I want to come down. Oh. You know when you've had miscarriages, then you're not
used to it,
So,
right.
so I just told them, it seems custom. I want to come down. Oh. Then they were like, can you be positive for once? I said, the one I've been scabashing for uncle. I beg. And luckily,
So different strokes for
in fact,
different
early
Yes.
pregnancy.
Did you have a
so-
community where you were able to, gather strength and like a community of women also going? Do you have something like that? Also going through the same thing?
Oh yes, and it was due to my own experience because I understand that the what's it called, the emotions. You know, women, we are very emotional,
Yes.
and they need the mental stress that comes with this condition. So going by my experience, I would say I'm lucky. I'm one of the 1% that are lucky to have people around them who support them, who
system.
understand them. Someone like my husband does not even know anything about this thing, but he started studying. Then he would be up, and he got to a point I was like, "Okay, calm down. Are you the one that have PCOS? Calm down." And he'd be like, now, just I'm only bothered about your mental health. So there are some women like that who do not have this opportunity.
Yeah.
So that was, I had to come up with a community, and like I said, I opened it like in a month. Then it was filled up, and I'm like, what's going on? What did I do? I was just talking about the symptoms. Then people started coming, and I'm like, wait, calm down. It's not for everybody. You need to go to the hospital. Whatever you come with, let me hear. So that we'll know that that is what you are actually going through. And you're not here for something else. So, because so many people will come, I have someone in my community that a marriage broke because of it.
Aww.
Then they said it's what she gets, that is a lifestyle that actually, and I'm like, it's not like that.
No.
Hormones can just be
It
triggered
can happen to anyone.
anybody. So
Right.
I tell them it's not like PCOS is not what's it called, life sentence. You can live fine. Am I not fine? Am I not looking fine?
You are radiant and gorgeous. So is that the kind of community that the YFAI provides for women?
Yeah. So well, Wi-Fi. And
That's
so
much easier.
yes, I was gonna allow so it's Wi-Fi Youth Fertility Awareness Initiative. So we basically provide awareness, but then for people who are married and people who already have these issues going and are seeking fertility options, there is our parent body, which is Para Family Foundation. So they deal with people who are married, who have fertility issues, and all that. But Wi-Fi, we basically go around spreading our awareness and then linking people. So we have people we collaborate with, doctors, organizations that we collaborate with, and then we can now provide that for them. Yes.
Okay, we like that. So, finally, we just want to know how healthcare providers can better support PCOS patients, in a way that, emotionally, mentally, what you think they can add to what they're already doing to make sure that these women are not feeling like there's no hope in the world for them anymore.
Okay. First, I think as the awareness keep going on, people would start coming to the hospital, so we get to meet them. Because many times you don't even get to meet the patients who actually have PCOS, because there is just this, I'm not coming to the hospital, I don't need the help or something. So once they are coming, that's at least we get to know those people who have this. And another thing is, I think one other thing medical practitioners can do is collaborate with organizations like Wi-Fi and have support groups for people like this. Because apart from the physical symptoms, there's a whole lot of psychological stress and emotional stress that people go through that have this. So there's that part of, apart from giving you the diagnosis, walking you through your treatment plan, we can also support you with emotionally and psychologically with talking therapies. We call it CBT with people who are going through this. And once you have a medical practitioner that actually is holding your hands through the journey, I think it becomes
feel much better.
easier.
It's easier.
You're not alone.
Exactly.
Right. Can we add, we are not medical practitioners. I just want to say that I think a lot of medical practitioners as well need to get aware. They need to know what is going on, because a lot of generalization. You have somebody going into the hospital for a particular condition, and then you're generalizing it. You're not the first person to have this. You're not this, and then they don't have.
It could lead to misdiagnosis.
Yes, it could lead to misdiagnosis. So because these medical practitioners sometimes are not informed about these issues. So
she just said that. I'm actually surprised.
So that's very important as well. So
thank you so much. Any more questions, Victor?
No, to be honest, I had no idea like PCOS was like this. I'll just hear, I'll be like, what's PCOS? And they will be like, is it this big? I mean, now that
but we've tried to demystify it a little for you all to understand that yes, it does exist. Yes, symptoms will manifest, but early detection, early treatment helps you to better live your life, better your lifestyle. It's not a death sentence.
Exactly.
It can be managed, even if there's no cure at the moment, right?
No.
But it can be managed, and you can live a normal lifestyle,
you can-
right?
Can have children.
Ladies, you
Very
can have
you
kids.
can have kids.
Yes.
Right.
Can live life to
And
the
even
fullest.
The acne is everything.
Everything can look at now. See
Yeah.
now. Melanie
It's not
Pop,
even back to
chocolate and
acne.
caramel. Ooh-wee. Oh my gosh. So ladies, this has been very, very insightful, very, very educative. Thank you so much for making it down here to let the girlies know that, listen, we are still outside. PCOS cannot hold anybody down. Not in the year of our Lord 2024. And hopefully there is a breakthrough and a cure. Can I get an amen?
Amen.
Because how soon? Is there any research going on at the moment that you think we need to?
There are
A lot of research is going through it.
So hopefully, things
Yeah,
get
there should be a
lot
cure.
better.
And then we can kiss it goodbye finally. Thank you so much, ladies. Is there anything else you'd like to add before we wrap this up? You know, to let people know. First of all, we'd like to find you all on social media.
Yeah. So where can we
All your
find you?
Instagram handles, let's drop them like they're hot. Starting with Sarah.
Okay, so my Instagram handle is Sarah Flabiolagoke, and also the community for PCOS women. That's Bloom with PCOS. You can always find the link there. And Bloom. That's Bloom with PCOS. So just keep glowing. So
Keep going, keep
And
blooming,
PCOS
ladies.
is not a death sentence.
No, it's
I'm a
not.
mom. In case you're dealing with infertility at the moment, I'm a mom, so you just need to take your time, calm down, don't rush, don't panic. Make sure you work hand in hand with your with your medical practitioner, so that you can get the medical support. Then you too follow quality nutrition, and you can also follow Tesla Foods as well, where we provide you food offerings that are specifically for PCOS women living with PCOS, and people who want to improve their
The
nutrition.
diet.
Yes, so we are here for you.
Thank you so much, Doc. What is your Instagram handle?
Oh, okay. It's just D Angel Dumari. So D_Angel Dumari. Yes.
We can't miss that. And of course, no, sir. I believe we're getting two from you.
Right. So we're getting Wi-Fi, which is YFAI_official on Instagram, and we also have a YouTube channel, so you can go and follow that or subscribe. Because one thing that we do as well is we go and ask people for questions and opinions, so people share their stories as well. And then my Instagram handle is NOSA_AIR. So Nosa Air.
Nosa Air, she's on the airwaves saying goodbye. Yes. Thank you, ladies, so much. We appreciate you for coming.
Thank you so much.
Love to have you again sometime. That has been What Women Say. Hashtag Walkover Wednesday edition. We didn't even want it to end. Y'all look at the time. But we gotta go. But hey, don't touch your radio, okay? There's more to come. Right, Big T?
There is.
Thank you so much. Here
Thank
is
you, too.
YJ's Strong Girl. Are we not strong girls?
Yeah.
And all the survivors, everyone living with it or without it, we're all strong girlies. Never ever forget that. We'll be back. Don't touch your radio.
High Impact 102.1 FM.